Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. We're back again for the Sunday edition of Dominaria United Leaks. That's right. This is coming up. I am posting this on Monday, but this is the Sunday edition of all the cards that were posted on Sunday to kind of give you a quick review. What was leaked? How good are they? And what do I think of them? Because why not? Everybody else does it. I might as well too. So, moving forward, don't forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So with that said, guys, let's get into it. We've only got about 6 cards to talk about today, so let's make it a quickie. We have Vortex Bone Rattle. So for a green, black, and 4, you get a 4/4. It's an uncommon. It has Domain. As we know, Domain is for every basic land type you have. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, keywords there, can't cheat this into play to get this. Choose target creature card from your graveyard. Return that card to the battlefield if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Alright, so you can pick anything you want, but if the mana value is less than your basic land type, it can go straight into play. But if it doesn't, then it has to go into your hand. So not bad. It's kind of like a really big Gravedigger that's a 4/4. Uh, for really 2 more mana to get you more toughness and a possibility of putting the card straight to play. Seems like a decent uncommon. I don't think it's going to see a whole lot of play in anything other than draft just because it does cost too much. But with Triomes being in New Capenna, this might be a thing because you could probably use 2 Triomes to get you almost every land type, which is 5. But then the question comes, is there anything 5 or less or 5 or less, because you can't get to 6, that's worth doing this with. That has maybe an ETB trigger or something that's going to make it worthwhile. Now, Commander, this could be very good because you have a lot more access to a lot more cards. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it's a decent card, be good for draft. Moving on, next we have Hero's Heirloom. So it's your basic uncommon artifact, 2 mana to lay to equip to lay it. For 2 mana, you can equip a creature. It gets +2/+1. As long as the equipped creature is legendary, it has trample and haste. Um, I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna see a lot of play. I mean, it's 4 mana for a 2/1 to give something trample and haste. Yeah, it can divide it up. Probably good enough for a draft card, but I mean, when you've got things like uh, the boots that give haste and indestructible or haste and you can't target it, like there's a lot better things you'd be doing with a lot less mana. So I just don't think it's gonna see a whole lot of play outside of maybe draft. Because honestly, for 2 mana and then 2 to equip, you honestly could be doing a lot more, even in standard. So kind of lackluster. Next we have Rona's Vortex. So for 1 blue, it has a kicker of a black and 2. Now for 1 blue, you get to return target creature and/or planeswalker you don't control to their owner's hand. So it's an unsummon for 1. Not terrible. Now if you kick it, you get to put that permanent on the bottom of its owner's library instead. So I think this is a very good multi-purpose card, which will probably see play definitely in sealed, limited formats. But this looks good enough to be played in standard. 4 mana to put a card on the bottom of the deck so somebody can't get it back, and you can target a creature or a planeswalker with it. Um, that just seems amazing. And not only that, too, worst case scenario, let's say you don't have the black or whatever, you can put a planeswalker in someone's hand to reset it so it doesn't go ultimate on you. But honestly, if it's going ultimate, you probably just put it on the bottom of the library. However, this can take tokens from Obnixilis. When it comes into play, you can sacrifice a creature and make a token planeswalker. You could bounce that token planeswalker and get rid of it for 1 blue. That's pretty good. And I think that's going to be a big card coming up here in the new format. So I think if you're playing blue, this is definitely going to be quite possibly a couple main, but definitely a couple in the side if these are your colors. It seems like a pretty good card. Next we have Phoenix Chick. I love this card. And the little molten lava egg. It looks like a little chicken. Anyway, so for 1 red, you get a 1/1 with flying and haste. That's really cool. Now it can't block, and that does suck, but this is going to be an amazing card for Red Rush. I mean, a 1/1 flying haster, that's almost always going to get through, because the problem with most haste creatures we have now is they're all ground pounders. None of them fly. This one does. And whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may pay 2 red. If you do, return the Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking with a +1/+1 counter on it. So 2 red mana for a 2/2 flyer with haste attacking in Red Rush or Boros in general. This looks like it's going to be an amazing card. Real good in draft just because it flies and it just start hammering away at people. The ability to get it back when you attack with a lot of, with 3 or more guys. Like, I mean, this with the white enchantment that spits out 1/1s. Not a whole lot of stuff has flying or blocking flying lately here in the standard format. Um, Now, I don't know if it's going to be any good in modern. It is cheap enough to be, but the damage might not be because, you know, it's only 1. But the ability to get back maybe, but then again, modern doesn't always do big swings. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It is only an uncommon, but I do think it has a bright future in standard because, hey, everybody loves repeatable damage. Next we have Cult Conscript. So for 1 black, you get a 2/1, enters the battlefield tap. This is your basic 2/1 for 1 black. I always have it. Cool thing about this one is for a black and 1, you can return the Cult Conscript from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if a non-skeleton creature died under your control this turn. In a mono black deck, or maybe a black red deck where you have like that chick or whatever, this could be very good because you could very easily swing, let stuff die, get stuff back, put it back on the field. I think this card has some promise in standard. However, it is a little lackluster. We're going to have to see how the format plays out, but this is going to be pretty sweet. Not going to lie. Next, we have Defiler of Faith. So for 2 white and 3, you get a 5/5 with Vigilance, Phyrexian Human. That's a beast. And this is part of that cycle where when this thing's in play, all your white mana symbols can be cast by using 2 life instead of a white if you wish, as long as it's permanent. So, and also it says whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Probably not the best in the world, but I'm going to be honest with you. This creature Phyrexian style of card for every color set is really going to be a powerhouse, and I see a lot of decks getting built around him. Again, this is a human, and it has vigilance. It's 5 for a 5/5. It could just make dudes for you. Like, it just see this whole play set of these style of cards, which normally we have something we call them the Titan cycle or the primeval Titan, the primeval Titan cycle. Like this looks like a Phyrexian cycle for every color. I don't know what you'd call it, but it all seems very powerful and they all have extra effects. And I could very easily see these cycle cards being part of the mainstay in all of the new standard format because they're all pretty much 5 that I've seen so far. Now, if I missed one and it's not 5, you can tell me that in the comments section, although I'm pretty sure they all have been. But also, we haven't seen them all yet, so it's a good possibility some of them out there might be 1 or maybe 2 left. There's 6 or maybe less. But they're all super powerful. They all give the ability to cast any permanent spell with Phyrexian mana. That's going to be a big deal in the new format. And, man, I just don't know what else to say other than I would like them. This is going to be a sweet cycle of creatures from Phyrexia. So, there is that. So, with all that said, guys, this is the last spoiler of the day. Thanks a lot for watching. I think the Phyrexian cycle, to be honest with you guys, are easily $2 to $5 rares. Once one of them figures out which one's the best, kind of like Primeval Titan, right? It's probably going to skyrocket, or Grave Titan, or whatever the case may be. But I think it's pretty cool. I like them all. We have some pretty good spoilers today. Only about 6 cards, though. But we'll be back at it again hot and heavy on Monday. We're about 115 cards into the sets when I seen out of 281, something like that. Yeah, anyway, don't forget, guys, when these sets come out, I start the box opening series. I have set and draft boosters to go through. Might even pop a few collector boosters like I did with the last set. We'll have to wait and see. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, you can like, subscribe, uh, hit that notification bell. Comments down below is going to feed that YouTube algorithm to help get more views for the channel and support. And I really would appreciate it. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so click that subscribe button. I just can't say enough how much I appreciate you guys who have subscribed and keep coming back. Also, if you've already done everything you can to support the channel, but you want to do a little bit more because you like what I'm doing, links in the description to the eBay store where you can get all kinds of cool stuff from Magic's Gathering, Gen Con, and other things. Also, there's a Patreon page. You can go in there, support monthly, get some cool swag and free stuff, discounts, the whole 9 yards. Also, there's an email if you want to reach out and say hey. And as always, until next time, be kind, and I hope to see you across from the game table.